Here we see oblique elastic collision between two identical spheres. Okay, here both are identical, that's why their masses are equal. M1 is equal to M, M2 is equal to M. One sphere, first sphere travel with a velocity u along this direction. Okay, so at the instant whenever they are colliding each other, that means during collision, the point of contact is this one. So at the point of contact to the two spheres, you draw a tangent. Then it is the common tangent. Perpendicular to common tangent passing through point of contact, when you draw a normal, that is the line of impact which is passing through centers of the two spheres. Okay, like this. It is the line of impact. So whenever two spheres collide each other, after collision, suppose the first sphere fly off in this direction with a velocity v2, second sphere fly off, first sphere fly off in this direction with a velocity v1, second sphere fly off with a velocity say v2. First sphere makes an angle alpha with original direction of motion. Second sphere makes an angle beta with original direction of motion. Then when you resolve this v1 into two components along x-axis and along y-axis, along x-axis velocity component of the sphere after collision is v1, angle is alpha, that's why v1 cos alpha, and along perpendicular direction it is v1 sin alpha. For this v2, along x-axis component is v2 cos beta, and along y-axis component is v2 sin beta. Okay, now along x-axis we apply the law of conservation of linear momentum, because when you consider the system of two spheres, whenever collision takes place, the force acts on one sphere due to other, that is the internal force. Internal force does not alter the total momentum of the system of two spheres along any direction. That's why along x-axis we can apply law of conservation of linear momentum, along y-axis also we can apply. For single body we cannot apply the law of conservation of linear momentum. When you consider the single body, due to this sphere, due to other sphere, some force acts on the sphere, no? That's why momentum is not considered when you consider the single sphere. When you consider the system of two spheres, then law of conservation of linear momentum is applicable. Similarly, along y-axis, according to law of conservation of linear momentum, along y-axis before collision, also, as the first sphere travel along horizontal direction, no momentum is there for the first sphere along y-axis, even for second sphere. After collision, along for the first sphere along y-axis, the momentum of the first sphere is mass m into v1 sin alpha, that is along positive y direction. So m into v1 sin alpha plus momentum of the second sphere after collision, that is downwards direction, that's why minus you write along negative axis, mass m into velocity component v2 sin beta. Here m can be cancelled. Then from this v1 sin alpha is equal to v2 sin beta, we can write now. So v1 sin alpha is equal to v2 sin beta. This is one more relation we can have. Next, as the collision is elastic, the body obeys law of conservation of kinetic energy principle. No, you apply the law of conservation of kinetic energy principle. According to law of conservation of kinetic energy, total kinetic energy of the system before collision is equal to total kinetic energy of the system after collision. Total kinetic energy of the system before collision means only first sphere is having kinetic energy, so half m into u square. Second sphere is at rest initially. After collision, kinetic energy of the first sphere is half m v1 square plus kinetic energy of the second sphere is half m v2 square. Half m can be cancelled, then u square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. This is equation 3. So in this way, we can have 3 equations. From these 3 equations, after collision, what about the angle between the directions of motion of the two spheres we have to find? And from these 3 equations, we can find what is v1 and v2. Of course, previously I said no, along common tangent, as the velocity component is equal to u cos alpha in this direction, directly u cos alpha is the answer along this direction. So that is v1. v2 is equal to, already I said no, v2 is equal to u sin beta, I said no, that is the value. Okay, what about the angle between these two? That is the question. So here, after, from these 3 equations, from equation 1 and 2, from equation 1, u is equal to v1 cos alpha plus v2 cos beta, no, v1 cos alpha plus v2 cos beta. You substitute that u value in equation 3, 1 in 3. You see, from this u value substitute here. So u means v1 cos alpha plus v2 cos beta. It is instead of u, square is there, you write square, is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. You expand a plus b whole square. v1 square cos square alpha plus v2 square cos square beta plus 2v1 v2 cos alpha plus cos beta, that is equal to v1 square plus v2 square, v1 square plus v2 square. So from this 2v1 v2 cos alpha, sorry, cos alpha plus cos beta, no, sorry, cos alpha into cos beta, no, into, so 2v1 v2 cos alpha cos beta is equal to, you write this v1 square cos square alpha, you bring to right, then you take v1 square common in both the terms, then v1 square into 1 minus cos square alpha plus v2 square minus v2 square cos square beta. When you take v2 square common, 1 minus cos square beta means we can 1 minus cos square beta we can write. Therefore 2v1 v2 cos alpha into cos beta is equal to v1 square, it is equal to sin square alpha, no, plus v2 square into sin square beta, no. Therefore 2v1 v2 cos alpha cos beta is equal to, from this equation 2, v1 sin alpha is v2 sin beta is equal to v1 sin alpha we can write now, since from 2 v2 sin beta place lo v1 sin alpha రాయండి, అప్పుడు v1 square sin square alpha plus v2 sin beta means v1 sin alpha, square is there, that's why v1 square sin square alpha we can write. Therefore 2v1 v2 cos alpha cos beta is equal to 2v1 square sin square alpha. Here v1 square cancel, 2 cancel. Therefore next, okay, therefore v2 cos alpha into cos beta is equal to v1 sin alpha into sin alpha you write, but v1 sin alpha can be written as v2 sin beta, no, you write v1 sin alpha is equal to v2 sin beta into sin alpha. Okay, therefore here v2 cancel, you bring this sin beta sin alpha to left, then cos alpha into cos beta minus sin alpha into sin beta is equal to 0. Cos alpha cos beta minus sin alpha sin beta means cos of alpha plus beta we can write now, cos of alpha plus beta we can write, cos of alpha plus beta is equal to 0, implies alpha plus beta is equal to 90 we can write now. That means whenever one oblique collision takes place between two identical, oblique elastic collision takes place between two identical spheres in which one sphere is at rest and another sphere is in motion, then after collision the two spheres fly off at right angles to each other, because alpha plus beta is 90 means definitely the angle between the directions of motion of the two spheres after collision is 90. That's why the two spheres fly off with angle between them is 90. They are fly off perpendicular to each other. That is important point. Yeah, we can do like this. We can do by taking the concept of one-dimensional collision. Along line of impact, this comes to rest in this direction and this fly off with a velocity. Previously I said no, with that velocity. Along this direction, as along tangential direction, no force acts on them. The velocity component of the sphere before collision along this direction does not alter. That is equal to u cos alpha in this direction and u cos beta in this direction. That's all. So here, after collision, velocity of the first sphere is v1 is equal to u cos alpha and v2 is equal to u cos beta. That's all. ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో వెలాసిటీ u cos alpha అవుతుంది, u cos beta అవుతుంది, ఈ డైరెక్షన్ వెలాసిటీ u cos alpha అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి ఆఫ్టర్ కొలిజన్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద వెలాసిటీస్ ఆఫ్ ది టూ మీన్స్ v1 is equal to u cos alpha and v2 is equal to u sin beta. You will get those values. Okay, so these are the velocities. It is one-dimensional elastic collision. Two-dimensional elastic collision or oblique elastic collision between two identical spheres in which one sphere is at rest before collision. That is the case. Okay, it is okay. I will write here v1 is equal to u cos alpha, v2 is equal to u cos beta. I will write here after collision. I will write this one here. v1 is equal to u cos alpha you will get, and v2 is equal to use cos beta, you will get. These are the, because after collision along this direction v1 is equal to, previously I said no, the component of this velocity only lies along this direction, because along tangential direction there is no force acts on them, even friction is also not there. That's why along this direction there is no change in the velocity even after collision also. So before collision along this direction velocity component is u cos alpha. That's why even after collision also along the direction velocity is u cos alpha only. In this direction velocity of the sphere becomes 0 after elastic collision. Next, after collision velocity of the second sphere in this direction is, before collision velocity of the sphere along this direction is equal to u cos beta. After collision between two identical spheres along the line of impact, just they exchanges their velocities. Ante before collision as it is a rest, after collision it comes to rest and it fly off with the same velocity with which it makes collision with this sphere. That is u cos beta before collision for this. That's why after collision this sphere fly off with the velocity u cos beta. So these are the velocities of the two spheres after collision, provided alpha and beta. Okay, right. I think you got this point now. Vijay, whatever the point I have written here, I wrote the same again. Okay, Vijay, now you got the point. Okay, Nana. So this is two-dimensional elastic collision. Two-dimensional elastic collision between two identical spheres. Okay, so after two-dimensional elastic collision takes place between the two identical spheres in which one body is at rest, after collision the two spheres fly off at right angles to each other. That is the conclusion. Therefore, after oblique collision or two-dimensional collision, after oblique collision between two identical smooth spheres, two identical smooth spheres, after oblique collision between two identical smooth spheres in which one sphere is at rest, initially, comma, then after collision the spheres fly off at right angles to each other or at perpendicular to each other. That is very, very important point. Perpendicular to each other. This point may be asked in objective exam. ఈ పాయింట్ మన క్వశ్చన్ గా అడగచ్చు వాడు. దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ, వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, రైట్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, shall I erase this one? Already I sent the notes to you. Shall I erase this one? Right. Right. Next, some note points I want to discuss related to oblique collision only. Some note points related to friction especially, because so far we have not done the problem related to friction. So one problem I want to discuss related to friction. Okay. Okay, here you see. Here on the horizontal rough surface, a block of mass on the horizontal surface, a block of mass 5 kg is kept. A block of mass capital M is equal to 5 kg, that is kept, which is moving initially, which is moving with a velocity u2 is equal to 2 meter per second. Here initially, this block is moving with a velocity 2 meter per second. At that instant, on this block, another block falls. Another block falls. Actually, the block is dropped from certain height so that before it makes collision with the lower block, whose mass is m is equal to 1 kg, whose mass is m is equal to 1 kg. Here, it makes collision with a velocity u1 is equal to 10 meter per second. u1 is equal to 10 meter per second. That means here, while the lower block travel with a velocity 2 meter per second on the rough horizontal surface, whose mass is 5 kg, at that instant, a small block of mass 1 kg makes collision with this large block with a velocity 10 meter per second. Okay, at that time, what is the impulse received by this body with a normal reaction? Here, actually, the question is, what is the velocity of the block? What is the velocity of this lower block at the instant whenever this block makes collision with this one? After collision, both move together. After this block makes collision with this one, both move together. That is given. After collision, suppose, of course, inelastic collision takes place between these two blocks. Here, that you mention here clearly. After inelastic collision, between the two blocks, velocity of lower block V2 is equal to question mark. Velocity of lower block V2 is equal to question mark. Okay, all of you see carefully. Here, the block makes collision in downwards direction with a speed 10 meter per second. That means initially this block is having momentum mu1 downwards, but whenever it makes collision with this one, immediately the velocity in this direction becomes 0, and as the inelastic collision takes place, this block stick to this block. That's why in this direction velocity becomes 0, and even it does not rebounds back. Okay, that's why here, why the velocity of this block becomes 0 in this direction? What is the reason? Why this block, after making collision with the lower block, why this block comes to rest? Which force acts on the block to oppose the motion of that block? Come on, you respond. Why this block, whenever makes collision with the lower block with a velocity 10 meter per second, why it comes to rest? What is the reason? Yeah, perpendicular plane of contact on the upper body, normal reaction acts supports, no? Because of normal reaction, whenever collision takes place, suddenly it receives the impulse due to normal reaction, and in this direction their momentum becomes 0. Okay, therefore impulse due to normal reaction, impulse due to normal reaction received by block of mass small m or smaller block of mass small m is equal to, impulse is in this direction, no? Impulse received, say J1 by the small block. Impulse received by the small block is J1, which is equal to integral normal reaction into dt. Okay, this is equal to how much? So J1 is equal to integral n into dt. That is equal to general formula, final momentum minus initial momentum. Impulse received by the normal reaction between these two is in upward direction. Impulse is in upward direction. Impulse is equal to integral n into dt. That is upward direction. Therefore, that is equal to final momentum. So whenever it makes collision, as along this vertical direction, as it comes to rest, the final momentum is 0 minus initial momentum. You see, initially the momentum is in this direction. That is opposite impulse, no? That's why while substituting the initial momentum, you write minus sign, minus m into initial velocity u1. Therefore, integral n into dt is equal to plus mu1. You substitute the data. Small m means 1 case into u1 means 10. That is equal to 10 kilogram Newton second or kilogram meter per second. This is the impulse received due to normal reaction. Next, at the same time, whenever it receives the impulse due to normal reaction, at the same time, the whatever the normal reaction received by this block, the same normal reaction received by this block also. At the same time, whenever the normal reaction acts on the body increases, then here net normal reaction exerted increases. Whenever net normal reaction exerted increases because of friction, some frictional force, impulse due to friction is received by this block in opposite direction. That's why impulse due to friction acts on this lower block in opposite direction. So what is the impulse due to friction on the block? Impulse due to friction on the block. Here, weight of the block is negligible compared with impulse received. Impulse is very large force compared with weight of the body. That's why when you consider the weight of the body, when you consider the impulse due to normal reactions in case of collision, the weight concept we do not consider, because impulse due to weight is very less compared with the impulse due to a normal reaction, etc., or impulse due to friction. That's why we should not consider the weight of the body. So here, impulse due to friction, impulse due to friction received by lower block, integral f into dt is equal to change in momentum of the system, change in momentum of the block, change in momentum delta p. So integral f means mu into coefficient of friction, mu into normal reaction into dt. Here, whatever the normal reaction exerted by this block on the lower block, same normal reaction acts because weight is negligible. Since weight is negligible, weight capital Mg is negligible compared with the normal reaction. Negligible. That is very, very important point. That is very, very important point. Collision జరిగినప్పుడు పనిచేసే ఫోర్స్ చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందండి. Collision జరిగినప్పుడు whenever the collision takes place, at that time the force exerted by one body on the other body is very, very, very large. Just you imagine, suppose when the ball, a cricket ball, strong ball, rigid ball is thrown against you, then it injures the body more. Suppose if the same ball is kept like this, it does not injure, because whenever the impulse received by our body during collision is very much large compared with the weight of the body. That's why here the impulse due to weight can be neglected when compared with impulse due to collision. Okay, that's why here weight is not considered. I think you could understand, Varshit Reddy. Okay, capital Mg, because this weight is mass is capital M, no, mass is capital M, here small m, capital Mg plus small mg, that is negligible. Capital Mg plus small mg can be neglected. The total weight can be neglected. Okay, total impulse due to total weight of the two bodies at this point can be neglected when compared with the impulse due to normal reaction. That's why impulse due to normal reaction only considered. Due to that, impulse due to friction acts on the lower block. Impulse due to friction is equal to change in momentum. That means final momentum minus initial momentum. You see, mu you write outside because that is constant, into integral ndt, that is equal to final momentum. Final momentum means, you see, whenever the collision takes place here along horizontal direction, impulse is received by the system, because after collision the two bodies move together. After collision the two bodies move together. That's why final momentum is small m plus capital M into common velocity, say v or v2, because after collision their velocity v2 we imagine. That's why v2 you write common velocity minus initial momentum. Initially along this direction only this block travel in this direction. This is not having any velocity in this direction as it is dropped vertically. ఇది vertical గా క్రిందకి ఫాలో అవుతాం తప్పితే horizontal direction లో మోషన్ లేదు కదా. As it is falling vertically downwards, initially it has no velocity along horizontal direction. That's why no momentum along horizontal direction. Only the lower block is having momentum along horizontal direction. That is only the initial momentum along horizontal direction. That is capital M into U2. Okay, mu into, mu means 0 point something is given, 0.4 into, what about integral n into dt? Integral n into dt. Actually, impulse received by the, here normal reaction due to the sphere is n1 n. Here also because of weight also normal reaction acts, but normal reaction due to weight is negligible. Only because of collision only normal reaction acts. That is only considered. That's why integral n dt means this only, 10. So you write 10 is equal to m plus m means 5 plus 1, 1 plus 5 into v2 minus capital M capital M means 5 into velocity, initial velocity 2. 5 into 2. Okay, therefore V2 is equal to, what is the V2 value? What about V2 value? Okay, here you see impulse received is in this direction. Impulse due to friction is in this direction, whereas final moment in this direction. You write, we have to consider the sign convention also. Impulse received by the lower block is in this direction because friction acts in this direction. No, impulse received is in this direction, but final momentum is in opposite direction. No, that's why you, while substituting the data, you put minus sign only. Okay, what about this one? It is also minus. Minus of minus, you will get plus. Minus, you write. Because we have to find this V2, in which direction that block travel after collision, we doesn't know. That's why V2 we have to find. You should not put any sign convention. Okay, now 6V2 is equal to, here it becomes 14. 14 minus 10, that is equal to 4. That is equal to 4. Okay. So therefore, after collision, what about the velocity? After collision, what about the velocity? Is it correct or not? Sorry, it is 4 only, no? It is 10 only. It is 4 only. Okay. It is 4 only, no? When you bring this to left, then it becomes plus 10 here, plus, minus 10 here, plus 4. Okay, therefore that is equal to minus 6. So V2 is equal to minus 1 meter per second. That means impulse due to friction. Therefore, velocity of the body is this one, minus. We consider the impulse in this direction, but final velocity is in this direction. Therefore, after collision, the system means two blocks. The system move towards right. With a velocity V2 is equal to 1 meter per second. This is the answer. So after collision, the lower block or both blocks together move with velocity 1 meter per second towards right. 1 meter per second towards right. Okay. Next. Have you noted this one? One more related to impulse concept, related to friction, impulse due to friction concept. One more problem is there. We'll do now. Shall I raise this part? Left part. Shall I raise? Second one. A ball of mass m moving with a velocity v0 collides a wall as shown in the figure. Here there is a vertical wall. There is a vertical wall and it is the normal. One ball of mass small m moving with a velocity v0. U is equal to v0. A ball of mass m moving with a velocity v0 makes collision with wall with an angle theta 1 is equal to 37 degree. Theta 1 is equal to 37 degree. After collision, it rebounds with another velocity by making an angle theta 2 is equal to 53 degree with a velocity say v. That velocity is given as v0 by 2. Here, one ball having mass m moving with a velocity v0 makes collision with the wall so that the direction of motion makes an angle 37 degree with a normal to the wall and rebounds with a velocity v0 by 2 after rebounds with a velocity v0 by 2 by making an angle 53 degree with a normal to the wall. So it is given like this. So before collision, next here they asked the component of the impulse on the ball along the wall. Impulse received by the ball along the wall, they asked. Impulse received by the ball along wall. J is equal to question mark. Is the ball receives the impulse along the wall or not? First you tell me. Is the ball receives the impulse along the wall or not? First you tell me. Here we are given, this is positive x-axis, this is positive y-axis. It is given like this. The symbol is given like, diagram is given like this. Along this direction you take positive x-axis, along this direction you take positive y-axis. In this way it is given. Along this direction negative x-axis, along this direction positive negative y-axis. That's all. Now tell me, is the ball receives the impulse along y direction, along the parallel to the wall or not? First you tell me. Pawan. Okay, if it is yes, what is the reason? If it is yes, what is the reason? Pawan. What is the reason? How you could say it receives the impulse along the wall or parallel to wall? How could you say? Yeah, Varshit Reddy, very good. Here, before collision along the wall, before collision along the wall, the momentum of the sphere is m into, along this direction velocity component is v0 sin 37. No, after collision velocity, the momentum of the ball after collision along this wall is m into m v0 by 2 into sin 53. Okay, if it is v0 by 2, then their component in this direction is v0 by 2 sin 53. So momentum is m v0 by sin 53. So this is the final momentum along the wall. It is the initial momentum along the wall. So along the wall, initial momentum is mv0 sin 37. That is equal to mv0 into sin 37 means 3 by 5. That is equal to 3 mv0 by 5. Final momentum along the wall is equal to m into v sin 53. V sin 53. That is equal to m into v means v0 by 2. Sin 53 means 4 by 5. That is equal to 2 mv0 by 5. We can write now 2 mv0 by 5. That means along the wall there is a change in momentum. Along the wall, the momentum before collision, after collision along the wall, they are not same. They are different. That's why there is a change in momentum along the wall. Momentum decreases. You see, momentum decreases after collision along the wall. That's why definitely, as the momentum decreases in this direction, definitely friction acts in opposite direction. So because of friction, some impulse is received by the ball along the wall. Okay. So along the wall, impulse received due to friction. Impulse received due to friction, comma, J is equal to integral F into dt. That is equal to question mark. Integral F into dt. That is equal to question mark. Okay, therefore, integral F into dt is equal to impulse received by the ball due to friction along the wall. Along wall already I have written commonly. So along the wall, impulse received by the ball is equal to integral F into dt is equal to, general formula is final momentum minus initial momentum. So impulse J due to friction JF is equal to impulse received due to friction J suffix F, that is equal to integral F into dt is equal to, you see, impulse due to friction is along the direction of friction only, whereas initial momentum, final momentum are in opposite direction. That's why final momentum means that is opposite to friction. That's why in this direction. So final momentum we had substitute minus of final momentum is how much? 2 mv0 by 5 minus initial momentum. That initial momentum is also along the opposite to the direction of the impulse due to friction only. No, that's why minus we had to write. minus of minus initial momentum. Initial momentum is equal to this one, 3m v naught by 5. Therefore, minus 2m v naught by 5 minus or minus plus 3m v naught by 5. That is equal to m v naught by 5. M v naught by 5. That is the impulse received due to friction. Positive sign represents what? Positive sign, impulse received by the friction is positive. That represents what? In which direction impulse is there? In which direction impulse is there? Upwards or downwards? First you tell me. Upward or downwards? Impulse received by the friction is in upward direction. We got positive means definitely the impulse received by the friction positive we got. Impulse received by the friction is upwards we have taken. Okay, then we got positive value only. That means impulse received is in upward direction. Upward direction means along negative y direction. Therefore, impulse received by the friction in vector form is equal to upward direction means minus mv naught by 5 into j cap we have to write. This is the impulse received by the friction by the ball along the wall. Therefore, impulse received by the ball due to friction is along negative y direction. Actually, according to the given diagram, impulse received by the friction is along negative y direction. Okay, that is the answer. So minus mv naught by 5 j cap, that is the answer. Okay, next. Shall I erase this one? Shall I erase? Minus y. Okay, here minus y we have taken minus. You see, impulse received by the friction is definitely along this direction. Momentum decreases. That's why friction must be in opposite direction. That's why impulse due to friction is in upward direction. That is equal to change in momentum Pf minus Pi. Impulse received by the friction is in this direction, whereas final momentum is in opposite direction. That's why I have substituted minus sign. Initial momentum is also opposite to the impulse received by the friction. That's why that is also minus I have substituted. Okay, Varshit ready? Right. One more problem. Third one. A bob of mass 10m is suspended through an inextensible string of length L. There is a bob of mass. Bob means sphere of mass 10m. Here m1 is equal to 10m. Suspended by means of a string from the rigid support. A bob of mass m suspended from the rigid support by means of a string. Okay, inextensible string of length L. Of course, whatever the length, that is L given. When the bob is at rest in equilibrium position, now the bob is at rest under equilibrium position because weight mg acts downwards direction. Weight mg acts in downwards direction, whereas the tension string acts upward direction along vertical. As both are equal, it is under equilibrium. At that time, two particles each of mass m strikes it as shown. So at this time, two particles each of mass small m, m2 is equal to m, m3 is also equal to m. m3 is also equal to m. Two particles of masses m each strikes the sphere, strikes this bob of the, here strikes this bob with velocities 3u and u. Here this sphere strikes the sphere with a velocity 3u. This particle strikes the sphere with a velocity u, that is given. At angles are also given. This angle is 60 degree. This angle is also, of course, 60 degree. That means both particles travel symmetrically and makes collision with the large sphere with velocities 3u and u. Okay. Now after collision, the particles sticks together. After collision, the two particles m1 and m2 and m3 stick to the bob. It is the bob. Sticks to the bob. And all move together. Sticks to the bob. That is given. Okay, then what is the impulse in the string due to tension? So first one, impulse due to, first one we had to find impulse due to tension. Impulse due to tension, J suffix T is equal to how much? Impulse due to tension is equal to how much? First we had to find. Here you see, you resolve this velocity into two components before collision. Of course, momentum of this particle in this direction is equal to 3m into 3u. That means 3mu we can write now. Momentum of this particle in this direction is equal to m into u now. Then what about the component of this momentum along vertically downwards direction? In this direction, mu cos 60. Mu cos 60 in this direction. In this direction, mu sin 60. For this particle, in this direction, momentum is in this direction. So in this direction, their component is, because here also you see, when you resolve this momentum into components, we got mu cos 60, mu sin 60. For this, in this direction, momentum component is, momentum is 3mu. Their component in this direction means that is equal to 3mu cos 60. In this direction, 3mu sin 60. Okay. So along vertical direction, whenever the two particles collide each other, before collision along vertically downwards direction, the momenta are 3mu cos 60 and mu cos 60. With these momenta along vertically downwards direction, the two particles collide each other. After collision, the sphere cannot comes down, because at the same time immediately the tension force acts on the system of 3 in upward direction and makes the momentum of the system in downwards direction is 0. That's why the system receives the impulse due to tension vertically upwards. Ikkada before collision, the momentum of the two particles along vertically downwards direction is equal to mu cos 60 plus 3mu cos 60, that is downwards. So whenever these two particles collide, the momentum in this direction is must be 3mu cos 60 plus mu cos 60 even after collision also. But as it is suspended by a string, then immediately along vertically downwards direction, the momentum is made, the momentum of the system along vertically downwards direction is made 0 by tension. That's why the system receives the impulse due to tension in upward direction. That is impulse due to tension. Okay. Therefore, impulse due to tension, Jt is equal to final moment. Impulse due to tension means along vertical direction. Along vertical direction. Along vertical direction. Along vertical direction. Impulse due to tension, Jt, J suffix T, impulse due to tension is equal to, we can write tension the string, suppose T aithe, then T into dt we can write. Of course, here we need not write. Impulse due to tension can be written as integral T into d small t. T is the tension there, is equal to final momentum minus initial momentum. So final momentum is 0 now. Impulse due to tension, because of impulse due to tension along vertical direction, even these two particles sticks together. Because after collision, the two particles sticks together means along vertically downwards direction. After collision, the system comes to rest because of tension. Okay, that's why final momentum is 0 minus initial momentum. Before collision, initial momentum of the system of two particles and one sphere along vertically downwards direction is, for this sphere momentum is 0. For this first particle, momentum along vertically downwards direction is, but here you have to remember that initial momentum of this particle along vertical direction is downwards, whereas impulse received due to tension is upwards. That's why we have to write minus sign. So minus, you write minus 3 mu cos 60 plus this momentum component along vertically downwards direction only. That's why it is also minus. So minus mu cos 60. Mu cos 60. Therefore, impulse due to tension received by the sphere system is equal to minus plus, it becomes plus. So 3 mu cos 60 means 1/2 plus mu into 1/2. That is equal to 4 mu by 2 means 2 mu, no? So impulse due to tension received by the system is equal to 2 mu. That is one answer. B bit. Velocity of the system just after collision. Velocity of the system just after collision. Velocity of system just after collision. So whenever the two particles after making collision with the sphere, the two particles stick together. At that time, what is the velocity of the system just after collision? You see, along horizontal direction, as no force acts on the sphere, along horizontal direction, no external force acts on the system. You see, here whenever the collision takes place here, the impulse is received by this sphere, this particle and this particle along this direction. Their components acts along this direction. Due to that only, along horizontal direction, impulse is received by the sphere along horizontal direction due to reaction, due to forces with which they collide. That means the impulse is received by the system because of internal force only, not external force. That's why along the horizontal direction we can apply law of conservation of linear momentum, no? So along horizontal, according to law of conservation of linear momentum, okay, before collision, the momentum of the particle along horizontal direction is, before collision the sphere is not having any momentum along horizontal direction. That's why m1 into 0 plus, before collision this particle is having momentum along positive x direction, that is 3 mu sin 60. So 3 mu sin 60 towards right, the direction is taken as positive. Next, for the second particle along horizontal direction before collision, momentum is this one, that is negative x direction. That's why minus, you write minus mu sin 60. It is the total momentum of the system along horizontal direction before collision. Even after collision also, along horizontal direction, there is no external force acts on the system. That's why momentum is conserved. That's why even after collision also, along horizontal direction, momentum does not alter. So along horizontal direction, immediately after collision, along horizontal direction, what is the momentum of the system? After collision, as the two particles sticks to the sphere, all two particles and this bob move together. That's why total mass of the system m1 plus m2 plus m3 into, as two particles sticks to the bob, all system move together with some velocity. That common velocity, say v, that velocity they asked. Immediately after collision, what is the velocity of the bob, they asked. So immediately after collision, the entire system will move together with common velocity, say v. We have to find 3 mu sin 60. That means 3 mu into root 3/2. Of course, here we can write, we simplify them first directly. So 3 mu sin 60, mu sin 60 means 2 mu sin 60, no? 2 mu sin 60 is equal to m1, m2, m3. m1 means 10m, 3m, 10m, m. That means 12m. 12m into v. Here m cancel, 2 6 are. Therefore, v is equal to u sin 60 by 6. That is equal to u by 6 into root 3/2. That is equal to, how we can write? Answer is given u root 3 by 12. Yeah, directly it is given like this. That implies v is equal to u root 3 by 12. Answer is given like this only. So it is the, of course, it is the velocity of the system immediately after collision. But when you give some time, whenever this sphere try to move in this direction with this common velocity, because after collision, as this momentum is greater than this momentum, after collision, the system try to move in this direction. But immediately as the string is there, then it prevents the motion of this system in this direction. So due to that, it rises like this until their energy becomes zero. So what is the height ranges means, again, according to the concept of ballistic pendulum, here also we can do. Okay, it is the velocity immediately after collision. In this way we can do. Okay, left side, Sai Keshav Gupta. After collision, is the system moves left side or right side in the diagram? Sai Keshav Gupta, come on, you respond. Is the system move towards left or towards right? The momentum along right direction is taken as positive. We got answer positive only. That means after collision, the system moved towards right. I'm asking Sai Keshav Gupta. You respond. Sai Keshav Gupta. Is the system moves towards right immediately after collision or towards left? You mentioned left side. Okay, I will unmute you. You speak with me. Sai Keshav Gupta. Sai Keshav Gupta, you speak with me.
Sir, I have sent for that before you told.
Say loudly.
Sir.
Tell me.
Sir, before you are rubbing previous note two, no, sir.
Ah.
So that rub left side only, sir. I have written, sir.
Okay, okay.
Not for this.
Okay, okay. Right now. Now, is it? Are you followed this one?
Yes, sir. I followed.
Okay, okay. Right now. Thank you. Right. Next. So now we want to I want to discuss the new topic, variable mass system. If extra problems are there, I will send through WhatsApp to you with solutions, or video solutions I will keep in YouTube. Okay, because for every chapter there is innumerable number of problems are there, different problems. So maximum as possible as maximum number of problems we have to do for every week. Okay, number of problems are there. Different problems develops different thoughts in our minds to crack the different problems given in mains or advanced exam. Okay. So with the different examples we are learning, you are learning different thoughts. So based on different thoughts you learned, you have to do the problems. They don't ask direct problems. They don't ask any problem directly as you have done. Okay. Now, variable mass system. Variable mass system. Variable mass system. Okay. So here